How's it going, everyone? My name is Battery CEO. This is Sensei Finito, and welcome to another video here at Marvel Bros, where we cover all things Marvel and everything pop culture. Sensei, what are we checking out tonight?
Yo, tonight we just got finished watching The Northman, which was an amazing movie, first and foremost. And we are doing our movie review and open discussion.
Oh, yes.
We are so pumped to talk about this movie. We have been waiting for this movie ever since our trailer reaction that you guys can definitely check out. We've been pumped for this, bro. Like, right? Like we've been waiting for this one.
Bro, since we saw the initial trailer, right, and reacted
Mhm.
to this movie, I thought to myself, oh my God, this movie comes out in April. It's going to be so long until I could finally see this movie. And time just zoomed by, and I was like, oh my God, it's April, and it's
And
here.
the next thing we knew, it was like, oh, we're gonna see this next week.
Yeah. And I'm so happy, bro. This movie is incredible. I've never felt so grounded and familiar with the Viking culture. You know, I felt
Yeah.
like I was a part of their society, part of, a part of their religious beliefs, I guess you can say, with like
Yeah.
North mythology and when it comes to Zeus or no, Thor.
Odin.
Odin, I'm sorry.
And
With
Thor
Odin
and
and Valkyrie,
just
all those
everything.
things.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm blown away at how this movie utilizes real life mystical magic. It's just incredible. Visuals awesome.
Off the hook, bro. The visuals were
Yes.
amazing. And I believe that it was very cinematic as well.
Yes,
Some
very cinematic.
beautiful shots of just everything. If you guys do not know how we do things around here when it comes to our movie reviews and open discussions, we keep the first 15 minutes of it non-spoilery. So if you guys have not seen the movie, you don't have to worry about us dropping anything that'll really spoil the movie. If we do talk about anything related to the movie, it will be in like the trailer for sure or something like that. So you guys are safe if you haven't seen it. You're safe to stay.
Oh yeah.
But going right into it, bro, what were your expectations going into this movie?
I expected this movie to be my favorite movie of the year so far.
Yes, I remember that is a conversation we definitely had.
That is the belief I had going into this. And I think it is.
I mean, didn't we get the Batman this year though? I mean,
it's very close. It's literally
we've got
one of
a
the
lot
most, it's up there with Batman, with
and everything everywhere all the time.
Yeah, those are so far have been the top 3 movies I've probably seen this year, and it's definitely the contender for the number 1 spot.
Is Secrets of Dumbledore anywhere on that list, or is that like not even a contender for the best movie this year?
Not for the best movie of the year.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And it was a good movie, but not for the best movie of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's kind of what I thought going into it, but I didn't realize initially going in, I didn't think we were gonna get real life Norse mythology type stuff. I thought it was just gonna be they're praising their gods, and that's it. Nothing really comes about it. I thought this movie was gonna be what we thought Green Knight was gonna be. Even though I know there's a lot that goes into Green Knight, and people in the comments let us know about that, so we kind of knew moving forward, what we were kind of getting into. But for some reason, just the way the trailers were portrayed and stuff like that, we had a different idea as to the type of movie we're going to see. But this movie was incredible. Actors did huge, great performances. The way they spoke to one another and old English type stuff, that I was not prepared for that. That was a whole nother element on top of the movie itself.
All had a really good renditions of the accents, I guess you could say. It didn't sound cheese really at all. That's something that I feel like The Witcher, it gets kind of cheese when they start trying to talk in those certain way. Just sometimes, not all the time. It's like, that's not the language that they speak. But with this, it was like, all of these dudes are, they are Vikings. They are with the Norse mythology. They actually believe this in their real life. This didn't seem like anyone was acting. I think that's one of the things that really got us with this movie. And I think The Last Duel was kind of like that too. Like, no, it didn't feel like anyone was acting. You know what I mean?
Felt like I
You're
was
gonna
there in
hear
real
us.
life.
Yes, exactly. You're definitely going to hear us relate this movie to both The Last Duel and Green Knight in different ways throughout this right now, because it was just, those are the only movies recently that have came out that are in this demographic, or in this category, I guess you could say, of, you know, that you get the olden day, medieval, whatever that time period is called, but you get it from a lot of different angles. And this one, more than those other two that were mentioned, that I just mentioned before, it was like, bro, I'm, like you said though, like, I'm here, like, I am here, I'm living with them, I know what's going on. The trailer was, once again, like, literally the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like, and I was so happy with that. I was like, nothing was spoiled, nothing was ruined about that. It's like we had no idea what was gonna happen in this movie, right? Like, it was like, oh, bro, whatever happens next, I have no idea.
Yeah, bro. This it was a trip, bro. Like,
yes,
it was an experience. The music, bone chilling. And when I say bone chilling, amplify that by like 10, and then think about what we're seeing on screen and the music working together like anything, like nothing I've ever watched before in my life. I've never felt more enthralled into a moment on screen like I have while watching this movie.
I
And
agree
that's not like I'm speaking real facts right now too. Like,
No,
I've just
I agree
never
completely.
experienced, like, Dune was the other movie that got me like that. But like,
Yes.
this movie was like on a whole nother level with like the volume and stuff like that, and like just the
You know what
transitions
this
as
made
to
me
what
kind
was
of
happening
feel
on
like?
screen. It was insane.
Like, I was a kid when this movie that I'm about to talk about first came out, so that's the only that's the only other comparison I can give this to. But Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, the first one, and like how
I know exactly what
enthralled
you're
we
talking about
are.
too.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it just with bro, like, there was nothing that could match that at the time, and it was like we were there, we felt it, like everything that was going on when you saw the pirates coming out of the ocean as in the moonlight is hitting them, and they're freaking like, bro, like, that was the vibe that we got from multiple moments in this movie. And it was like, oh my goodness, like, what the hell is happening?
Or when Davy Jones was playing the piano for the first time, and he's just going ham by himself, alone man. And I was like, oh my god, this is so intense. There was times growing up, I would be home alone. I'd literally put that moment on with max volume on my TV, like dead ass, like, just to hear that piano, like that piano play, man, because of how like he was so deep in his emotions, and you could feel it in the music. And that this movie does that perfectly, to maybe even a greater level than what that was even showing at that time, man. I'm just it's almost like I'm at a loss for words, honestly, because
yes, I feel like our theater was also at a loss for words. It was just like no one knew what to do when the movie ended. It was just like,
there was people that clapped. There were people clapping, but like then there was people that wasn't sure if they wanted to clap, and they clapped.
It was just
and
like,
it was just like, yo,
it was like, bro, what we just experienced something so cinematic. Like, it was really hard to like comprehend at the time, low key. It was just like, bro. And one thing that I really liked about this movie is and tell me if you felt the same way, is it felt like the movie was never gonna end in a good way.
Yeah, I felt
in a
that
really good way.
because
It was
there was a
like,
moment.
is this movie 3 hours? Like, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I was like, I thought this movie was only an hour 40 minutes. Like, that's how long is this movie? Really?
Yeah. No, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. I looked it up.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was an hour and 45. I thought it was a lot shorter for some reason. That's why when we were going in there, I was like, how long is this movie? I feel like we're going and going, and we're not even halfway through right now. Like, what?
That's how it felt for me too. I was like, bro, what is the? I don't even know what's like where are we? Like, are we gonna see this dude's entire life and go into everything that's going down everywhere? Yeah, like, it was just like I had no idea what was gonna happen. And midway through, that's when I was like, bro, this would be amazing as a television show, because it was like so much depth to everything. and you just learn so much about gods and the belief system. And like, if you don't know, we gonna let you know people are getting murdered in this movie. Murdered and sacrificed. Like,
there is a lot of death in this movie, and some badass moments. Like, and I'm
oh
talking
my god.
like some of the coolest things I've ever seen on screen. All right, folks,
Yeah.
and like visually, and like I've never felt like I've never seen a warrior this savage and this enthralled in rage like I have
Like, this is what the
watching this
Assassin's
movie.
Creed movie was supposed to be. Like,
Yes.
like this was. I felt like I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like, my
Yes.
man was going off, and he was a beast. And
He
the
was
way that
literally a
they
beast.
believed how that, like, even the way that they became a beast and all of that type of
That
all, like we
pre-war
said, the
ritual.
mythology and the rituals were just so on point. It just, like, even the, like, they sacrifice, multiple people get sacrificed as well throughout this movie, and even when those people are getting sacrificed, you're like, holy shit. But it's like, okay, it's obviously for a purpose. Like, something obviously happens next because of this, and it was just so amazing. It was so amazing. Yeah.
There's a show on Netflix that I think you'll like, because the show
Vikings, is that what you're talking about?
The Lost Kingdom.
Ooh,
Very similar.
Seen that.
Very similar.
Isn't it
like his
come
whole
back to
family
avenge
that he
his
gets
dad
raised
and all this stuff?
Yeah.
I did see that. I have seen that. Amazing.
I have not caught up, but I know the
Oh
latest
my
season
god.
just got released.
Wait,
but
it's still going?
Yeah, it's still going.
So
there's more episodes right now.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely about to go watch that.
And
there are some gasping moments in this. Like, I was gasping at things. Like, I was like, oh my god.
I think we both were. Like, there were moments where like, there's no shot this is about to happen, or no way this man's feeling this kind of betrayal, or there's no way this man's like savagery is this like crazy right now. Like, we're really watching this right now. And I just real quick, the director, he's Robert Edgers.
Oh, okay.
If you've seen his face, you'd know who he is. But some of the movies, the bigger movies that I think you might know him for, like The Witch and The Lighthouse. I've seen The Witch.
Oh, okay.
That movie's a little too crazy for me. But I know a lot of people talked about it and raved about it. Lighthouse, huge movie that did really well. And there's he does a lot of shorts, and some other, and a couple other stuff too. But yeah, I know he's a really well liked director.
I feel like every single the same way we felt with The Last Duel is how I feel with this, when it was like every single person was perfect for the role that they were in. Every actor that they chose was literally perfect. Personally, I wish we would have got a little bit more of certain actors, because it would have been like just so good to get a little bit more from them. But I feel like what we got from everyone was like just enough. You know what I mean? I don't even know, bro. Like, I really don't even know what else to say about this movie. It was so good. This
movie was so good. I will say, I know this is something that we talked about moving out. Not everyone's gonna probably like this one. It was the same way for The Green Knight and the same way for
The Last Duel.
The pacing for this movie is part of the reason why we thought it was like, it felt so long in a good way. At least for us, it was long in a good way. But for others, they might find it boring. But by no means is it boring, because we're looking at a genuine story. We're following someone through a very intense moment in life and seeing them kind of literally fulfill their destiny. I've never felt like that aspect in anything before, so heavily and so powerful and at its purest form. Like, we witnessed it in this movie.
And it was like you just said, bro, like, it's literally the purest form of the hero's journey that we could see, of like, yo, this is what I am here for. Like, this is my calling. Like, and there's just so many moments in this movie where it's like, fate intervenes and helps the ball keep rolling. And it's like when those moments happen, you're like, he's the chosen one. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, he has
It's
to
like
do it. Like,
yo, like there's no other way to explain it, man. This movie was a whole nother level, and it really threw us into a whole new world that I wish we saw more of. I know another thing that we talked about was like we wish we could have seen like what happens after a certain thing towards the end, in terms of like the next phase. But and so there's definitely no second movie, but like just the way
there's
it ends,
room for one. I
there's
think,
room
like, if
for
they
one
wanted
potentially.
to.
But just because of the style of movie, I don't know if that's the direction they're going to want to go. But maybe I know this movie did really well in Europe because they got it like a month ago before we did.
What?
So they've had it a lot longer than us, and we have. We just got it today. So I'm so excited. How would you rate this one on the Marvel scale, bro?
I really want to give it a 5, to be completely honest.
Because I'm almost there too.
The things that I'm going to talk about once we get into the spoiler section are going to be the reasons why I can't give it a 5. But I'll give this one like a high 4.8, 4.9. Like, it's in that. It's like, this is 5 worthy for sure.
Okay.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I think I'm the same, man. 4.8, 4.9. Again, amazing story, amazing actors with great performances. The music and the movie and like what we were watching came together like cheesecake and a fork, perfectly bonded together. And like there's no way, like this is just perfect for one another, and it literally put us in their shoes. I felt like we were right there. I've never seen destiny and like wanting to fulfill like your purpose in such as in its natural form, and the violence and brutality and savagery was just so amazing to see on screen.
And the passion behind that as well.
Yes, and the passion and like the real beliefs that these people have between like their gods and like what they really believe, unlike anything I've ever seen.
I felt like we were watching like Asgardians. Like, it was like so real.
It was like the early days before Thor was born. Like it was insane. But again, there is some stuff that I think make me not want to give it a 5, like you were saying, and they might be the same things that I'm thinking of as well. But for the most part, 4.8, 4.9 is what I would give this movie. But either way, you guys have to watch this one. This one is one for the books, and it's easily one of the top movies of the year so far. Easy.
Yeah. This
at least box office wise. Yeah. You guys have to check this movie out.
Yeah, 100%. But yo, now that the ratings are out of the way and we have hit that 15-minute mark, we are now about to enter the spoiler alert section. So if you guys have not seen this movie, this is your time to defer. This is your time to run away and do not stay and do not press play or go and collect $200. This is the time for you to skidee dat diddly dee. Because we're about to start talking about moments from the movie that we loved, and literal scenes and things that were happening in the movie. This is the time for that. So if you guys do not want to hear any of those spoilers, please exit stage left and or right. It is up to you. The choice is yours.
All right, bro.
What
are those? Okay, so what are your reasons for not wanting to give this movie a 5?
Okay. My first reason for not wanting to give this movie a 5 is because I would have really liked to see the transition of him being like a child to a teenager to an adult. That was a really big gripe that I had. I did not think that we were going to literally switch from one scene to the next, and my guy was 35 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think that's what was going to happen. I thought we were going to see some of his life as what happens when he did get to shore and all of the stuff. Like, we heard like some of the people talking about it, you know,
like one of the dudes that were
like, when we found you as a cub, we knew you were going to be a beast then, and all of this stuff like that. But it's like, it was like I really would have liked to see some of those moments, just a quick montage, if anything,
Yeah.
of him like going into battles and slowly aging scene by scene, and then seeing what we saw of him rowing the boat. Like that would have been amazing. And then at each stage, he's saying that I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you,
Okay,
Fiona.
bro.
Like if he said that multiple times, oh my god! Like I would have loved.
I have the
like,
perfect thing that I like. Have you seen the latest King Arthur from the dude from
No,
like
from
the
Sons of Anarchy.
yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I
the
have,
way
and
they
Pacific Rim. Yeah, no, I
yes,
haven't seen
so
that at
the
all.
way that movie starts, you know, we have like him young, you know, whatever happens at the kingdom happens, and then obviously, but he like survives, and he's found by I don't know how to say this like kindly, but prostitutes that
Okay.
like work together, and you know they're like a family. They find him, and like from then on until as an adult, we see that like crash course into his life, getting beat up, making money, and getting beat up again,
Oh,
and being beat up again, and all of a sudden you start seeing this transition. He's becoming a man, and he's
yeah.
becoming his own, and now he's the one running the brothel
That's what I
with
wanted.
his people who raised him. You know, like, and I thought that's probably the best way that I think they could have done.
Yeah.
That would have been great, and I think that would have been cool. Because yeah, you're right. There was a definite time jump because, like, you know, we see what happens with his dad. He escapes
And it
the
just said
village.
years later. It didn't
Yeah, it
even
just said
put it
years later.
into it wasn't even a
Yeah.
20 years later, 15 years later. We go from a literal child rowing to a full grown adult man. And it was like, whoa, what the hell just happened? Like,
Yeah.
and the only thing that we knew it was still him was because he was still wearing the necklace. And then that's another thing that pissed me off was how quick he was to just break it apart. I was like, why are like, bro, this is the thing that you've been holding on to this whole time. And then we see it becomes a necklace later on, but it just seemed like the whole thing would have been like, and I also thought that was going to be the thing that let everyone know who he was. And it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to be like, you know, like, say this is in his shirt. I thought he was going to be like, I am, you know what I mean? Like, I am him. Like, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. But no, like, it held no actual, like, substance to it other than what we got from it. And that really, like, I was really bummed by those two things. Like, for real. Like, I was really bummed out by that. I was like, oh man, I would have loved to see him become a man, and I would have loved to see him have that just around his neck still and just show it off to someone, and they immediately be like, "Oh my God, you're him!" Like it didn't even happen once, and it was just like, "Oh man,
Yeah."
damn." And that's really those are my two biggest reasons why I can't give it a 5. Like those are my biggest reasons because I really wanted more, and I might be hyper focusing on those, and then once you say what your gripes were, I might be like, you know what, no, those are I didn't like that idea. Right. But what was it for you? What was it for you that stopped you from giving it that full-blown 5? Oh, and I wanted to see Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe more. That's another thing. That's another reason why I can't give it a 5, because I really wanted to see the dad and the wizard dude more. Like like even them come up as like Force Ghosts or something. I would have loved that, but once again, it was one of those things where it was like just a no.
Yeah. I think, you know, I didn't even think about that. Seeing William Dafoe as the mage type character, jester type character, definitely would have been cool. What we saw of him was incredible. He definitely seemed like the annoying type, but also filled with all kinds of wisdom. So much so that we see him later on in the movie, but only, you know, like but like what it was
riddled
treasure, I guess you can call it at that point. But the other thing
which
that
I also loved.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Really like
too.
that. I really like that aspect of once again that magic being in like real.
Yeah,
loved it.
The other thing that kind of bothered me, but it's just me being nitpicky because I kind of like we saw a lot of fight scenes and stuff like that.
Yes.
But like I wanted to see more of the behind the scene fight scenes that take place. So like while Ethan Hawke's characters gets arrows and you know he gets killed, like the village at that point is also simultaneously being attacked, you know. So I figured, you know, while him and his son are doing the ritual thing, like we'd see like go back and forth between the village getting completely thrashed, and then all of a sudden in that climaxing with along with the intense music to like the arrows finally hitting them as they leave. You know, like
You know what? I didn't think about that, but what you're saying is that like what a big thing that was prevalent in this movie is that we only saw things from his point of view. We only saw what he saw. You know what I mean? Like if he wasn't there for it, we really don't know what was going on either. So that's kind of like a book that's told in the first person point of view, but the movie was in first person. And I do agree with you with that for sure. I agree with you for sure.
I think, but the way they kind of go back to when he goes to back to the village, and we see that it's being like ransacked and people are dying, bodies are flying everywhere. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool. You know, but again, I wish we were able to see that happening and unfolding in real time. There was one other thing that kind of bothered me, but I think it mainly stems from me not knowing how long the movie was. I thought the movie was shorter for some reason. And so like it literally felt like I was like, oh my God, like this movie just keeps going and going and going. But like it wasn't a negative thing. It just made me feel weird because I was like, oh my God, like I don't know what to expect from this. I was in the dark. And then like as things kept unfolding and getting like more and more savage, I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to keep going. I really didn't want it to end the way it did. I really wanted it to see what happens to like the next generation and hopefully see a little bit of that, but we didn't really get to see that. We only saw like
it would be amazing if like tomorrow it's like the director of the Northman announces that there is a Northman 2 in progress. Like oh, I would love that. I would like literally lose it. This movie was so good that it definitely, I could see like a whole trilogy, because this could be an entire universe of just actual Norse mythology that we have not actually seen being tapped into
at this
in
level.
The way that this movie, exactly, at this level of the, like this movie went to the umpth degree to try to make you understand, like, no, this is real. Like, this is for, like, this is real life. This isn't just like a belief system. No, this is their lives. And when they die, this is what happens. When they live, this is what happens. They're calling witches for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're actual witches. Everything was so well thought out. And to the point where when our main character, Amleth, starts utilizing those belief systems against our main antagonist, I believe, our main antagonist, to make him think that other things are going on. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks the spirits are against him because of what Amleth is doing to literally play against his own beliefs, bro. Like, it was crazy the lengths that they went to in this movie to kind of solidify that everyone knows what's up. Like, it's not a secret. The children know that Odin is real. You know what I mean? Like, it was beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
Yeah, you know, like we really do see Odin, we see Valhalla, we see freaking Valkyrie, we see her on a flying horse. Like, we see, I'm assuming what's the main character's name?
Amleth.
Amleth. We see Amleth being saved by freaking crows who are controlled by either Odin or his dad's spirit. Like, yo, like it was insane. There were even moments where like in the smoke towards the end of the movie, like I thought I saw like wolves and people like walking within the shadows of the smoke while, you know, the main fight was going on. Like dogs like really resonated and connected with this man spiritually, and he utilized that. Like, this movie was on a whole nother level in terms of like spiritual connection and belief, and I just have never seen something like that in a movie. You know, that's something that I've only ever seen in like video games, and even then, I can't even think of the last video game where I've been that.
I'm telling you, like
whole world like that.
God of War and Assassin's Creed are the only things that I know that have gone to this extent, like that this movie has went to, especially Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because that one definitely goes into the Norse mythology and everything really deeply. And it was a breath of fresh air, and in a way, watching this movie kind of felt like a video game a little bit, in a good way, like not the bad way, but like in a good way, the way like we were going on the quests with him type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like we went on we knew the main journey, and then we were also going on the side quests that eventually fill into the main journey overall once again. Just seeing him having to go to these different witches and getting different parts of the vision, or just getting these different messages. It was so genuine. Like this was a genuine movie, like more than anything. And I just had such a good time with it. Like I knew we were gonna like this movie, and I knew it was gonna be great, but there's no way I could have been prepared for what we got.
Yeah, there's no way I could have prepared for this. There's no way. I was gonna highlight Nicole Kidman. Her character was freaking wild. Yo, okay.
Whoa.
I thought we knew what was going on until we didn't. Yo, I've never seen, like, I don't know if it was toxic. I don't know if it was like,
we've never got put like got everything that we thought like just put on its head like we did in this movie. Like the plot twists were just immaculate. Like it was like we were playing Twister. Like my guy, what was happening?
Yeah, and then the way
I was like, Battery, what's happening? He was like, I don't know. We're so confused. What's going on?
The point being, we thought she was the good guy. We really did. We did. And then all of a sudden, she wasn't.
And that even in itself was a freaking crazy plot twist, because it was like, not only is she not the good guy, but his dad wasn't the good guy either. Everyone was wrong. Like, it was just like, what? Everyone was evil. Like, everyone was just
in a way,
sick and twisted look at everything. It was like, whoa.
You could even say that Amleth was also a villain.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone was a villain.
The whole plot in itself kind of makes you puts him in the situations that makes you want to think maybe this guy is the villain. You know, even after his destiny kind of shifts into a new direction, where he has the opportunity to kind of redeem himself and let bygones be bygones, per se. And you know, then he finds some stuff out, and he's just like, no, I can't. Like, I have to do this. And then, you know, this particular, again, another character I want to bring up, Anna Taylor-Joy's character was just telling him, like, hey, yo, please don't.
Olga.
Like, this is our chance. Like, we can go and, you know, live our lives and, you know, do what we got to do. And something happens, and he's just like, no, I can't. I'm sorry. Like, I thought this is what I want, but
it's not at all.
Like, I want hope, but I still need this revenge. This has to happen. This is my destiny. And how they part was insane. Like, she knew immediately. He was like, you know what? I understand how this works. She knew the job that she had to do at the moment he jumped off that boat, you know.
Yeah.
And immediately did her magic thing and sailed off into the sunset. And if you guys don't know what I mean when I say that, because it's real life in this movie. Like, it really is. Like,
oh yeah.
There's no other way to put it, because
gods and goddesses are real, magic is real, everything that they believe in is 100% a thing. All the way down to my man damn near being the Viking version of King Arthur. Like, to be honest, like he really is. Like, to be honest, like that's really what my guy is. And the way that they even went upon that was just, bro, like it was just like, whoa.
I'm pretty sure that sword, and you guys will know what I'm talking about, the weapon that he has to use. There's like a whole story behind it. It's incredible.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was made of titanium or something like that, because it's not a metal that it's a really strong metal that's super, super light, and that's something that they talked about, and it even looks
was
like
super light to the owner.
Yeah, and
Very similar to like the ebony blade or whatever you want to call it,
and like
the dark saber.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because like you can't open it unless you're destined to, or like unless it like it's time for you to open it. So like if you can't open it if it's not the right moment, like in your destiny. And like it was just another level of like I don't even know what the word to use, like mystic environments or something like that. Like it was insane.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Even when he fights the keeper of that blade, it felt really, really, really Green Knight-ish. If you know
I
what
thought
I
it was
mean.
real
Like
too. Like it was
like
what they did
whoa.
was
Like it
again,
was real, but
it was a whole
like,
new twist. It really was.
Every vision that he has is an actuality. It's not just taking place in the dream realm or whatever you want to call it. Like it's an actual thing that is feeding to the overall story. Yeah, that was just amazing. This movie was amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if
I really don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go
movie.
in more in depth because like you guys have to go and see this movie and experience it because like it's a whole nother level. But again, this movie was incredible. And again, 4.8, 4.9. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah,
you know?
same.
But yeah, I think that's probably about it, man.
Yeah, for real. That's all we have.
Because I don't want to spoil more than we already have. And we didn't even spoil that much per se. Just be prepared for some crazy shifts and turns with incredible music, performances, and things like
cinematography.
that you've never seen before. So check this movie out, guys. The Northman, out now. Incredible. All right. So before we head out, please make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Marvel Bros on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and our YouTube channel. We post all of our content, much more.
That is right. And you can also check us out on our website at www.marvelbros.com. That's MRVLbros.com, where you can purchase our merchandise to help support Marvel Bros and everything that we have going on here. And if you do purchase some merchandise, you know you got to represent the Super Fam. Tag us in it on all the platforms, all of the things, all of the stuff. And make sure that you also check us out on wherever you listen to your podcasts at. We all of our pop culture news updates are on there wherever you listen to your podcast. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all of the things. And if you want to support us, make sure you do that. We got the members on the YouTube channel now, all of the stuff. So if you guys want to help us out, you know how to do it. Thank you guys for tuning in with us today on an awesome episode of Marvel Bros and another movie review. And we hope to see you guys on the next one.
Oh, yes.
Excelsior.
Peace. If you would like to support Marvel Bros, all you gotta do is visit our website at www.marvelbros.com and buy some merch. Represent the super fan.
Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties.
We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Excelsior.
On today's pop culture news update.